All right, Shalom. Before I begin, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the men of great millstone, and to you sincere Akim there that's continuing to labor in his work. Shalom. Now, I just want to go into a quick lesson, all right? And I'm centered around going out on the highways and hedges and the fact that when we go out, we're conducting business. If you think this thing is just about a bunch of guys hanging on the block calling the white man the devil, then it's not for you. You got to be business minded when you come into these scriptures. And the scripture outlines that, man. This thing is set up along the lines of a business. You got to have a certain business mind, all right? Yahweh Shai said to be wise as serpents, all right? You got to be sort of like a car dealer, man. You got to know how to wheel and deal. And when you think about that example, just say if you're a car salesman, all right, a car salesman, man, is really the coolest guy you can think of, man. He's not talking shit to you, man. Why is that? Because he don't want to run the customers off, man. All right? He's not going to run off a potential buyer. And that's the spirit you got to be in when you're going out on the highways and hedges, man. This thing is not just a bunch of guys hanging out talking shit. This thing is about going out in hopes of bringing in the elect. And the way you do that, you got to know how to conduct business. All right, now it's times that, you might have to cuss these devils out or even some of the two-thirds. But, that basically comes with that zeal because the spirit of the Lord do consume you, man. But for the most part, this whole thing is set up as a business. It got to be a certain level of organization to this thing, man. And, we had the signs out, all right? It's like a restaurant because you got people come up, they look at the signs, and if they're interested, they'll stay and they eat, all right? It's like a menu. You got devils come up. Usually, them devils come up, all right, and they look at the signs. They might look at the slavery sign or the Cesare sign, and then they keep it moving. Why is that? Because they don't want to buy what we selling. And that's like if you go in a restaurant, all right? You look at the menu. If it's not nothing on that menu you want, you keep it moving. But if it's something on the menu, you're going to take a seat and you're going to eat, man. And that's what this thing is about. It's about handling business. All right? It's the book of Luke 19 and 13. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds. Yeah, that's Yahweh Shai. All right? And that 10 pounds represents this knowledge. And said unto them, occupy till I come. All right? Now, that means you got to handle business till Yahweh Shai come, man. All right? Matter of fact, let's look up that word occupy and get a better understanding on it. Because this is a commandment from Yahweh Shai.
Strong's G 4231. Pragmatuomai. Pragmatuomai.
Right. To be occupied in anything to carry on a business. To carry on the business of a banker or a trader. So that's what it is. You got to carry on business till Yahweh Shai get here, man. And that word business is key, all right? You can't just be out, all unorganized, just acting like a nigga. You got to conduct yourself as a business. And another thing too, man, you got to always be occupied, all right? Which basically, you got to be diligent in your business, man. Because if you had a business and if I always come to your place of business and you got a out to lunch sign on the door, you potentially going to lose your customer, man. And then guess what? The person who put that money up for you, all right, which is in this case Yahweh Shai, because he the one who gave us the 10 pounds and told us to occupy, all right, the person that put that money, that front money, so to speak, up for you, when he come back and see that you ain't been handling business, what he going to do, man? He's going to fire your ass. And that's spiritual, all right, because you're going to get fired. You're going to get the nuclear fire if you don't occupy in your Yahweh Shai business, man. All right? Now, this is the book of Matthew 11 and 15. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. Verse 16. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows. Now I went into that word markets too, man, to show you that this thing is about business, man. It's not about just, you know, kicking it, man.
Strong's G58. Agarrah. Agarrah.
All right, an assembly, especially of the people, the place of assembly, for public debating, for elections, for trials, for buying and selling, for all kinds of business. All right, marketplace streets. All right, for all kind of business. And why would Yahushua compare this thing and put it in the context of business? Because business is a certain level of urgency, man. All right, the Heavenly Father through His Son didn't say on your pastime, on your own free time. All right, He said business. Cause when it's time to do business, you do this thing. Whether it's winter, all right. If you got a business, you're not gonna close the doors of your business just because it's raining or it's too hot. No, because what you trying to get paid. And that's the same, you got to be diligent in this truth the same way. That's why the Lord outlined this thing and put it in the context of a business, man, because that shows a certain level of urgency, man. And it's the book of Luke 2 and 49. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Was ye not that I must be about my Father's business? Yeah, and you got to share that same sentiment, all right? That's your Yahushua as a kid, letting his parents know what you looking for me for. Don't you know I'm supposed to be about my Father's business? And that's the same thing in this truth, man. This thing is to be conducted as a business, all right? Because when you handling business, you lay all other bullshit to the side, all right? As far as partying and being in a business, when that word business come up, it by default puts your mind on a certain level. All right? You know the old sayings, get about your business, or you might see a guy that's diligent, you say, hey, that guy about his business. All right? See, business put things into a whole different context. That's why Yahweh Shai said, occupy till I come, which means handle business till I come, man. When you handling business, that means you ain't got no time to play games. All right? So with that, I hope you was edified until the next time. Shalom.